Just figure. It doesn't sum up with this. It's a standing figure on the stone. Even if you mention this one, they'll tell you no, it's not that. It doesn't have anything to do with it.
Good afternoon once more, and let me welcome you back to Professor Mahmoud Yakub Collation Center here in Bayelsa. We are at the final lap, and I think the local government that will be making presentation on is Southern Ijo of Bayelsa State. And so, let me also appeal again to the press that please let's be quiet so that we can get these figures that are being read out by the coalition officer. Thank you very much. So, the Southern Ijo local government, please, the EO, you introduce yourself, after which you hand over the mic to the local government coalition officer to introduce himself and subsequent presentation of the results, please. Thank you. Please, let's have one house. Thank you.
Let me sincerely stand on all the protocols that are established since yesterday. My name is Awajoyi Christian Utong, the electoral officer for Southern Ijo local government area. Let me also use this medium to sincerely apologize for this delay because Southern Ijo...
EO, please, EO, don't just go ahead and... please, thank you.
I am Ibrahim Khalil Adam, a professor of molecular biology and biotechnology from Federal University of Lafayette, standing in as the collation officer for the Southern Ijo local government area of Bayelsa State for the 11th November 2023 governorship election.
That's all right. So please go ahead. Tell us the areas, the number of areas that constitute the Southern Ijo local government, please.
The Southern Ijo local government area.
It will be followed immediately by the presentation of results. Thank you.
The Southern Ijo local government area has 17 RAs. 17. Number of registered voters 184,401. Number of accredited voters 184,401. Number of accredited voters 50153. Number of accredited voters 50153. Votes received by parties. A 1.
Party A.
Party A 1. Party A 1. Party AA 2. Party AA 2. Party ADC 3-1. Party ADC 3-1. Party ADP 5-3. Party ADP 5-3. Party APC 18174. Party APC 18174. Party APGA 7. Party APGA, 7. Party APM, 2. Party APM, 2. Party APP, 8. Party APP, 8. Party BP, 2. Party BP, 2. Party LP, 119. Party LP, 119. Party NNPP, 0. Party NNPP, 0. Party NRM, 37. Party NRM, 37. Party PDP, 24685. Party PDP, 24685. Party PRP, 31. Party PRP, 31. Party SDP, 2. Party SDP, 2. Party ZLP, 4. Party ZLP, 4. Total valid votes, 43158. Total valid votes, 43158. Rejected votes, 663. Rejected votes, 663. Total votes cast, 43821. Total votes cast, 43821.
Thank you. Thank you. LGA Collation Officer, Prof.
Yes.
Was there any polling unit where there was no election, or the election held but the results were cancelled?
So, thank you very much, the returning officer. From what was reported to us, there were RAs, of course, some polling units in these RAs where results were not presented, or were presented but due to some issues such as overvoting, snatching of ballots, snatching of Viva's machine, and of course, as a result of some of these incidents, and even hijacked, the results from those areas were not accepted.
They were recorded 0.
0, yes. Null votes.
Okay. Comments from the agents, please. Your name and then the party you are representing.
My name is Dr. Dennis Otiotu. First of all, I'm wondering with the procedure, what he's saying here, because when elections are conducted, you only score 0 by paragraph 100 of the regulations for the conduct of election. You only score 0 if there was willful obstruction to the deployment of materials or the use of beavers. That's when you score 0. But a situation where elections are conducted and then results are brought, and for one reason they are cancelled, you record them and then state the number of votes, the number of registered voters in those areas in Form EC40G. Then at the local government, at the ward level, EC40G1. But a situation where you say more than 50,000 votes scored by APC was cancelled in this area, and he is telling us that they entered 0. Look, 0 can be entered only at the ward level. The National Commissioner here knows that you enter 0 from EC8B, not from EC8C. So he ought to tell us the number of registered voters or the number of PVC collected for those units and ROAs that were cancelled. But for us to now begin to say that, they were entered 0, the principle, I can read it, here, paragraph 100, is very clear that where elections, there was willful obstruction to the deployment of materials, that means election was not held. Or the people refused to use beavers, that means election could not go on. That is when you enter 0. And for purposes of determining the margin of lead, you will not now include those ones or consider those ones. But where election was held, and for one reason or the other, it was cancelled, you have to record it in from EC 40G1, 40G at the unit level, and EC 40G1 at the ward level, and EC 40G2 at the local government level, so that they will be able to tell us how many polling units were cancelled, and then tell us the total number of PVC collected in those polling units. It's not 0.
Thank you very much.
That is one. But where for you to say that, oh, they were entered 0, it's wrong. It's a very wrong procedure. And I believe that the REC and the National Commissioner and those INEC officials here are conversant with this procedure. Secondly, I want to vehemently protest that in Southern Nigeria, over 50,000 of APC votes were deliberately and systematically cancelled for reasons best known to the collation officers. When the results came, the results we have from the unit shows that APC scored over 70,000 votes in Southern Nigeria, but at the collation, that was the reason why Southern Nigeria was brought here to collate. And at the collation center in this INEC office here, these votes were cancelled without any valid reason whatsoever. And so we are vehemently protesting that they do not have such powers to cancel those results.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. We have taken note. Please, next. Returning officer, sir. My name is Right Honorable Talford Ongolo. I am the collation agent for PDP. Now, we have set a standard here. And in normal practice, it's good for us to be even. We have, in line with the clear position of the returning officer, what we have done, we have encouraged at all levels for people to protest in writing. We have filed, for instance, in Southern Nigeria, there were areas where materials, like particularly Ward 4 and a few other areas, materials were hijacked. There are even trending videos of how INEC officials were denied the opportunity to even handle their own materials. Thugs were carrying them on their heads and moving about. So we have filed all those things, believing that having placed them on record, they will be addressed adequately. So I do not want us, because if we actually want to take it this way, then we will now subject, because what he has made are all big and nebulous. You must, because the the collation officer has said for multiple reasons, not for some, in some cases, hijacking, other cases, overvoting, so many reasons. So if you want to attack, even on the merits, what he has said, you will now specifically go to in unit this. This was what happened, and I think that we are not in a position to go into that detailed inquiry here. So in line with what we have been doing here, if they have any protest, let them, if they have also filed their own, like we have done, because we have placed our own on record, so that these things we can move seamlessly. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Next, please. The man behind, yes, sir. Please, thank you.
My name is Ambassador Victor Ben, a state collation agent for Boot Party. I think in line with the rules and what we've been doing here, we are not in law court. So therefore, there is no need for any form of cross-examination of LGA collation officer. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, yes, please.
Yeah, thank you very much. My name remains Joel Tubonimi, the agent for NNPP. My party, I'm speaking for my party. I am from Southern Ijo, from Ward 10, Unit 21. I went home to vote. My vote was counted, and other supporters and party members voted there. Our agent collected the result that was given to him. He signed and he collected. I said it here before. I think this award is becoming funny. It started from yesterday. We are not small parties. NNPP is not a small party. Neither all other parties are small parties. So this award is very unfortunate. I was not even, that is, even considered to be given my vote that I cast, I did in my place. I'm awarded 0 here. 0. What about my own vote? It's very serious. This sharing, there is God who arrest my case.
Thank you very much. Thank you, please. Thank you.
I remain. Can we hear ourselves?
Let's have one house, please. Let's have one house, please. Thank you.
Please, can we hear ourselves?
Madam, go ahead. Make your comments, please.
I remain Honorable Peace Orama, APM State Collation Agent. I think we are repeating ourselves here. We are no little children. Anyone that stand up will say the same thing. And I see it so funny. As it stands, we have exhausted our time and our strength. There is no fresh air here. And I'm not ready to sit more than this. Please, can we proceed and move forward?
Thank you very much. Thank you. Next, please. I think that's the first person. Yes, sir, please.
It's okay.
That's the last person, please. Thank you.
Yes, my name's Chief William Spaka, the agent for National Rescue Movement, NRM. You see, like my sister said, we are repeating ourselves. It's election. And so if there is something that will occur over and over, somebody will want to say something. In Southern Ijo, that is where the deputy governorship candidate of my party comes from, particularly Ward 16, where he is well known. We also have the results sent to us from the units there and then the ward there. But funny enough, what we saw here is, which of course, how long it took, even with the security agents standing there to make sure that voting do not take place. With over 13 gunboats, we are happy. That is how they decided to cheat us from winning this election. They don't want the National Rescue Movement to rescue the people of Bayelsa. We have seen, but like they said, we should write officially. And we believe that it will be treated very well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. All right, I thought that's the last man.
No. My name is Alan Amade, the state collation agent for SDP. In Southern Ijo local government area, my younger ones, they paid their transport from Yenegua here to Southern Ijo, Kulama, Ward 17, to vote. They cast their vote. Our agents there, they reported back to us. All our results are intact. And we know the figure that is in that result. But coming here to see that your ad hoc staffs has tampered with the results, it is no longer a funny matter. Because we want to know at what point are they supposed to be tampering these results. Because from the polling units, our agents, they were there. The election went smoothly. They conducted it very well. There was nothing like ballot snatching.
They counted the results, they signed and they collected these results from the polling units to the ward level. Getting to INEC now for the local government officers to come and read the result. They are now giving us another figure. So this thing is not funny. So I want to rest my case and to state it that we are going to challenge these results because we are not comfortable with it. There is mago in this result.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Thank you. I think that is that. That is that. Okay.
My name is Simeon Enomotumi. I'm representing Zenith Labour Party. Now, what I want to say is that I think let us put the record straight. The local government collating agents did not manufacture these figures. These figures came from the wards. So what are we arguing? The collation from the from the polling unit, moved to the RDS, from the RDS to the local government. So what are we arguing? Please, if it is me, let's go to the state collating and let's thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. I think we can wrap it up from here. Thank you very much. The local government coalition officer, you can come forward and make presentation of your results. Thank you. Thank you very much. Please, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have finally come to the end of the collation of results. The 8 local government areas that constitute Bayelsa State have been fully collated. But a quick one, please. Particularly the party agents. Please, let me stand in this regard. This is the result sheet that we are going to use to record the results that have just been collated here. Whatever you have seen on the screen is what is going to be transferred here, black and white. And so, with your permission, I will unseal this result sheet because it is wrapped with a polythene bag. So please, everybody, you watch. Sorry, I need a plate to actually cut. Yeah.
For me, not for them.
All these are for report of voting.
For me. Submitted to correction.
They have. Because of the rain, they are submitted.
Gentlemen of the press, party agents, security agents that are here with us, we don't want to call for any break. We want to remain here while we are writing these results and everybody is seeing us, so that by the time everything is completed, we can now announce the results. Thank you very much.
The results for the Southern Ijaw has just been released. You know, we've been waiting for the last local government area, which is Southern Ijaw. The result has been released and collation has been done.
Yes, gentlemen and ladies, this is EC8D, where we are going to transfer the results that have just been collated. And as you can see, the first page is blank. Please, it is blank. Thank you.
Well, what the state returning officer is doing at the moment is procedural to ensure that the entering of the results is seen by all as credible, free and fair as possible. So right now the entering of the results would commence. It's been a very long time, and of course Bayelsans cannot wait to get the results declared, and of course the winner unveiled. This Southern Ijaw's result, we had APC scoring 18,174 votes, while PDP had 24,685 votes. Labour Party had 119 votes. And earlier in the day, we had Brass local government area, where they had a total number of registered voters put at 94,040, accredited voters of 32,064. APC had 18,431 votes there. PDP scored 12,602 votes, while Labour Party had 83 votes. But with the results of Ijaw South already done, so the 8th local government area, the 8 local government areas of the state have been covered. Yesterday, we had a Keremo with 12 wards. Total number of registered voters there was 146,649. Accredited voters, 32,066. So over 100,000 people did not come out to vote, and that speaks to the level of voter apathy that was witnessed across the board. A lot of people attributed it to intimidation. In Ekaramo local government area, APC had 8,445 votes. LP had 50 votes, while PDP went away with 23,172 votes. That was at Ekaramo local government area. Then in Nembe local government area, with 13 wards, total number of registered voters stood at 99,035. Accredited voters, 27,404. over 70,000 people did not come out to vote there. And in that local government area, APC had 22,248 votes. PDP had 4,556 votes, while Labour Party had 113 votes. We also saw results from Sagbama with 14 wards. Total number of registered voters, 138,832 people. Accredited voters, 42,879. And votes received by parties, APC had 6,608 votes, while Labour Party had 217 votes, but PDP had 35,504 votes in that local government area, Sagbama local government area. We also had other votes, other results from Yenegua local government area with 15 wards, number of registered voters. Actually, Yenegua has the highest number of registered voters with 218,394 votes. Number of registered voters. Accredited voters, however, we had 54,380 accredited voters. That means over 150 people did not participate in the election. But votes by parties received, APC had 14,534 votes, Labour Party 244, while PDP had 37,777 votes. That's Yenegua local government area. And of course, Ogbia local government area, number of registered voters stood at 119,571. Accredited voters, 36,955. APC scored 16,319 votes. Labour Party, 57 votes. And PDP, 18,435 votes in Ogbia local government area. And Kolokuma, Okokuma, with 11 wards, number of registered voters stood at 65,364. Accredited voters, 24,171. APC scored 5,349 votes. Labour Party had 22 votes, and PDP had 18,465 votes from Kolokuma, Okokuma local government area. So that has been the outlook since the results were announced from yesterday. It's over 48 hours, and of course the people of Bayelsa, they know where they stand at the moment. Hopefully they should be able to start celebrating. So just eight local government areas: Brass, Keremo, Kolokuma, Okokuma, Nembe, Ogbia, Sagbama, Southern, Ijo, Yenegua. You know, someone said yesterday that, yeah, it might be 8 local government areas, but it's more like 8 times 3, because the process is always very hectic, maybe considering the terrain, considering geographical locations, considering interest all around. People have shown diverse interest when it comes to Bayelsa politics. And in terms of land mass, Bayelsa State it's about 9,000 square kilometers, compared with Kogi State with about 29,000 square kilometers. Then population-wise, according to the 2006 population, Bayelsa State stood at less than 2 million people, but that was about 17 years ago. So right now, we know that it must have gone far beyond that. But beyond these statistics, I think Bayelsa is well located to be a very, very prosperous state, considering that it is oil rich. But it appears that is not the case. There are the super rich, and of course there are those who are super poor. So a government that would make the bridge between the super rich and the super poor is what the Bayelsans have been craving for. And of course, earlier in the day, we saw most of them just by the INEC office celebrating because they feel that they have a government that should be able to deliver on some of their aspirations. So the celebration is still very much on. Hopefully we should be able to get some visuals from that end, because right now it's wet, it's rainy, but these people have decided to stay put in spite of the rains, celebrating today the successful conclusion of the election, and of course the release of the results being the last one from southern region. This is still Channels Television, and of course we have a live broadcast from the Collation Center of the Independent National Electoral Commission in Bayelsa State. The lead of the team, it's a vice chancellor from the Federal University of Technology, Mina. He leads the team. Professor Farouk Kuta is the state returning officer. Also here we have the Commissioner of Police, Tolani Alausa, seated. We have a National Commissioner, Kunle Ajayi, is also on the high table there. And of course, the Supervisory National Commissioner, May Agbamuche Mbu, she's also working with the State Returning Officer. And of course, the Resident Electoral Commissioner, Obo Ifanga. We're waiting to see what happens next. And as soon as we have the results entered into the sheet, the winner would be declared. I will take that one after the other. We'll be able to take reactions from all the parties, or as many parties as possible. Stay with us. It's still Channels Television. from the Collation Center, the Independent National Electoral Commission's Collation Center in Bayelsa State for the November 11 Bayelsa State Governorship election 2023. Collation is still very much on. Result has been entered into the results sheet. But while the election went on, we had the presence of a number of domestic election observers. We had from different groups, one of which is the Initiative for Promotion of Civic Obligations and Sustainable Peace. Ezekiel Shambaku, how are you doing?
I am fine, thank you.
Yeah, how many areas were you able to actually cover?
Interestingly, we are able to cover up some of the local government, Nembe, Odi, Sagbama, and also Brass and all that.
How was it? How were you able to navigate those areas? Those are riverine areas.
Honestly, it wasn't funny, and as you know, there was a high energy there, most especially in Brass. You could see people with passion. They are all out there to vote, and it was something else. Honestly, I've never seen such kind of, I've never experienced such kind of thing in my life since when I have been covering election in Nigeria, in particular.
Okay, all right, fine. So when you got there, because INEC had promised that they would start as early as possible and that materials would be deployed at the appropriate time. Were you able to actually witness it? What did you witness from the side of INEC? What was it like for you?
Are you talking about generally or just in particular places?
Some of the areas you visited.
Yes.
Of course, generally.
Exactly. Some of the areas like Odi, they came in time. Everything was perfect. Some started by 8, some started by 9, some started by 10, some started by 11. And as you could see, it was all peace. That, like Odi was so calm. There was no problem there. And Nembem also, where we observed, it was calm and the people were there cool. There was no problem. It was peaceful. We also went to Sagbama, and Sagbama. It was also peaceful generally. But what really truly happened was like in Brass, there was a kind of delay. They're supposed to have their own yesterday. That was on Saturday. But because of some issues and because of some issues, there was a delay. So Brass did their own yesterday.
Some part of
Southern it also did their own yesterday because of some crises, how somebody was killed, and it was something.
Would you want to say? Do you think INEC got some, lessons from the last general elections? Do you think that they applied those to what happened?
Generally, honestly, I must recommend INEC tried. They did perfectly well in this very gubernatorial election in Bayelsa. They give all their support, and even when there is also some kind of weaknesses that INEC did, but we must recommend them, and they need to sit and to put things in place for the next general election.
Did you experience anything like failure of beavers, especially in those areas where people thought that there might be network issues? Did you experience anything in some of the areas?
Yes, like some part of Ijo, southern Ijo, the river area, the beavers failed. So in so many places, yes, exactly. So beavers failed. Yes.
Okay. So, but generally, I want you to just talk about the process. How would you rate the process on a scale of 1 to 10?
1 to 10. Let's say 50. Let me give them 70-30. Yes, yes.
7/10.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. I've been talking with Ezekiel Shamaki of the Initiative for Promotion of Civic Obligations and Sustainable Peace. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, and I'm sure you're still around.
Yes.
Initiative for Promotion of Civic Obligations and Sustainable Peace. Also, right here we have a number of other people, observers who have come to be part of the process. They've all been part of the process. They've all been part of the process, and they would also be speaking with us. We're still on at the Collation Center in Bayelsa State. We had a number of journalists also on the ground who came from different media houses, and of course they will be sharing with us some of their observations while on the ground. And I have with me, first of all, Green, Mr. Green, Osinachi Green. Okay, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you.
How many places were you able to visit in the course of the election?
Okay. I actually have focused in one local government, but we visited different communities in those local governments. We visited Okokuma, we visited St. Paul, and we visited Sabagria. So these are the places I covered.
Okay. Is it your first time of covering an election in Bayelsa State?
No, not actually.
Okay, so you've covered elections before. Now tell me, could you compare and contrast between elections that you've covered before and this election?
Yeah, definitely. I can compare. There's a big difference this time around. It's things like this. It's like a progression. One on the side of INEC. There are so many things that have changed. This time around, we're using BVAS. We're using, it's not like manual accreditation and voting, So that's one. It's a big difference, and it also, creates that, give the people that sense of credibility in spite of whatever hitches that people have experienced during this presidential election. So I believe there is a big difference, in terms of securities. Thank God this time around there was no much casualty. We have seen elections where, some journalists were killed, like in 2015, 2019 and all that. So we have been assaulted, but this time around we never had any issue. Everybody went out there, covered the election and came back in one piece. So there are so many things that I can compare. Yeah, definitely.
What do you think may have accounted for this, that the change? What do you think may have accounted for this? And what are those lessons you think we should continue to take in order to improve on our electoral processes?
Yeah. This is where I give kudos to most NGOs. People, they have so many sensitization going on the side of INEC, on the side of security agencies, and on the side of media, our safety and all that. So I give kudos to them. This shows that people are now, becoming aware of their environment. They are becoming, part of the system. I think that's the most important thing. Awareness, sensitization, and you being conscious of yourself and your environment. I think that's what makes the difference.
Okay, earlier on we were talking about the size. When I say just 8 local government areas, people are like, why do you say just? That it's not just 8 local government, it's more than, 8 local government areas on paper, but that Bayelsa is very complex because Kogi is done, Imo done. So how do we really improve on it so that results are released in good times in Bayelsa State?
Yeah, I actually, this is I would say the INEC. On the other hand, they have to. These are things they have to look into. Take cognitions of some of the reports from their ad hoc staffs and from the observers and all that. And I believe Bayelsa is a very complex environment. We have more of riverine areas and compared to the land, So I believe if there is a way some of these election materials can get to these places in maybe ahead of time, it will be okay. And also, we are in a very dynamic environment where innovations have been coming up. Probably maybe next time we can be using drone. It will help. Instead of the transportation, instead of the speedboat and all that, which might encounter one or two situations along the road. So using drones, we have also seen where drones are being used to deliver drugs and all that. So maybe that they can think about that. Try to include that innovation in their own process. In conducting elections. So I believe that will go a long way. Instead of you to wait for boats, in boats you have to wait, you have to sail, you have to, there are so many things that you can encounter on the waterways. But with drone, definitely you don't have the thing will just fly and just deposit where it's supposed to. So I believe including innovations, I think will go a long way to change so many things.
So the use of technology would help a great deal.
Yeah, definitely.
Already using technology.
Yes, and secondly too, in the Western world, you don't need to come to your polling units. We can as well use our phone. You understand? If we can use our phone to transfer money from Nigeria to abroad, what stops us from using our phone to vote? You don't need to come to the polling unit. This will save us from so many electoral violence, save us from a lot of issues. So even if you're in your bedroom, you can as well exercise your franchise. You just do your voting and you go your way. So these are the things INEC have to start looking at, going forward.
Okay, another thing that before I let you go, we talked about the numbers of voters that came out compared to the numbers of registered voters, like in Yenagua, where you have the highest number of voters, registered voters, about 218,000. We had less than 60,000 people coming out to vote. And of course, it cuts across almost every other local government area. You see people, 20,000 people coming out, or 17,000, So this is a high level of voter apathy. What do you think may have accounted for that?
Oh, well, I still believe that, Nigerians, because of our past experiences, people have not really believed in the credibility of things. Sometimes there are people who, when you tell them something, they will just pick it up once. But there are people you have to repeat it over and over before it will sink. I believe there are still people who are out there who have doubts, and all that. But I would say this time around, compared to past elections, I believe people turned out, a bit. People turned out, and there were issues. There were issues where, especially the people with disability. People with disability, we saw situations where people with disability came out in mass, especially in this 2023 election. Unlike before, sometimes when you talk about electoral violence, they are the most prone. These are people on wheelchair, these are people who are blind and all that. So, a little violence, it still fear into them. So they don't even want to come around the polling unit. And as a result, they are being disenfranchised. But this time around, there were a lot of sensitization. There were a lot of, town hall meetings, trying to convince them to come out in spite of whatever. And INEC also did well by, making sure that they complied with the assistive tools directives, just to convince them, okay, you don't have to, worry about, maybe if you're blind, you don't have to worry about your glasses, those who are albinism and all that. So there are a lot of things that contributed to them coming out. Before they normally have 800 number of them, about 800 of them coming out in some previous election. But this time around, there were almost 1,000, more than 1,000. So I believe more of everything boils down to sensitization. Everything boils down to telling people what they needed to know, trying to convince them that no matter what happens, Nigeria is our country. The Nigerian project is for everybody, and definitely we have to take it serious. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so very much. I have been talking with Okem Sinachi Green. You're of the leadership group. Yes. You've done very well. Thank you so very much.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
So, we are still reaching you live from the Independent National Electoral Commission Bayelsa State Collation Center for the November 11th Bayelsa Governorship Election 2023, where collation is currently taking place. There's been a break. There's been a break, not just for the compilation or the results to be entered into. For the results to be entered into the result sheets. As soon as that is done, we would be able to hear the returning officer give us the final verdict. But for now, compilation of the result is still ongoing, and thereafter results would be released. So far, so good. The eight local government areas have all been released. Brass, Lekaremo, Sagbama, Yenegua, Ijo South, Obia, Sagbama local government areas. So the 8 local governments are complete now. And of course, the figures have also been announced. Maybe I'll just take you through them once again. Ijo, Southern Ijo, the latest that just got in. But for your information anyway, it's raining here. And so the weather, we hope, would be calm because it's been quite hot lately. For Southern Ijo local government area, with 17 wards, total number of registered voters there is 184,401. Of course, they are also a very, very strong force when it comes to swinging the election in this state. Once results from Southern Ijo favors any candidate, that candidate most likely would win because of their voting strength there. But just of the 184,000 voters, accredited voters, were just 50,153 people. We had APC scoring 18,174, LP 119, and PDP 24,685. For Brass, we had number of registered voters put at 94,040. That's 94,040. Accredited voters, 32,064. While APC had 18,431. All right.
Once more,
we are back.
Another result sheet that actually contains the name of the candidates
for each political party. It is sealed. We want to open it now.
So whatever is happening right now is procedural. The state returning officer is opening and now the sheet that contains
for how many days? That's why you said
the needful, after which other processes would take place, and then the result would be finally announced. People are waiting. The political parties' agents, they are still very much here. Security personnel are in the house, and we have even members of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, they are right here in the house. So all the security agents have actually come out to be part of what is happening here in Bayelsa State. But one thing I know...
Look at it again, it is blank. It is blank. We are transferring the total score for each political party. We are transferring the total score accrued for each political party in this result sheet. Thank you.
Okay, the transfer. I was reading out some of the figures earlier on that had been released from the various local government areas. Maybe we'll just conclude that. And then we'll have a chat with another election observer today. But for now, let's just continue with the figures from BRAS. I told you we had 94,040 people, accredited voters, put at 32,064. APC had 18,431 votes. PDP 12,602 votes. LP 83 votes. Let me just have a chat with one of the election observer success, Owe Fie. That's the name. How are you? How long have you been here in Bayelsa?
As of yesterday, we were here before the commission announced that they will start from today again. And as early as this morning, I came back here to make sure I follow the process to see the conclusion of it.
Let's just see the role of observers in this particular election. Do you feel the observers did enough to actually play a part to see that this election is a success?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, there is no any election that there should not be an observers, because people must see, people that are neutral to come and see how the process goes, so that they can also give their own voice, and they can also give their own recommendations on how elections will be conducted. And right from election day, I happen to be one of the observers, and my partners as well across the entire local government were spread out to observe the election. And I think it is very, very necessary for every election that will be conducted in Nigeria or elsewhere to engage observers. It is very, very key.
Okay, you're out to observe and give your recommendation. You've seen a lot of things happening on the field. Maybe you share your experience and some of those recommendations you would also want to see implemented going forward in order to improve on our electoral process.
Yeah, thank you very much. As I earlier said, on the election, on the 11th of this month, we all went out in our numbers to the polling units, wards, and the local government to observe the election. And from all that we saw, I want to even commend INEC for their, how they display maturity to make sure that as an unbiased empire, from what we saw, INEC stood firm to conduct a free and fair election. And this is Bayelsa. And it has rivering and the land locations. What we notice is that we as observers, we voluntarily came out to carry out our responsibility. Logistics to most of us, was not there. So for most of us to go to the riverine terrains, we have to take extra mind to do that. But out of passion, some of us also went to the riverine area to observe the election. And we also saw the readiness of the people to vote, the electorate. They are all eager to vote. And the process also allowed all of them to vote, to all the places that we observed. There was peace, and we did not notice much irregularities. But of course, no exercise is so perfect, but at least to a large, percentage, the process was free and fair.
Okay, maybe before I begin to take your recommendations, a lot of people thought that the impact of non-state actors would actually affect the election in certain ways, and of course the issue of voters inducement. Did you witness any of those while you were on the field?
No, actually, no, we didn't. People, all the places that we observe, of course, it is how the people can go and vote for who they want. We saw people queue on the line. I saw them on the queue, and the INEC officials were attending to one after the other. So I didn't, and other of my team members too, we didn't notice any vote buying in most of the places that we went to. And that aspect of non-actors, maybe external influence on election, security, what we saw was non-interference. So people should be able to have that confidence that during time of election, you are allowed, you will be allowed to vote. Don't discourage yourself because you are thinking your vote will not be counted or you'll be intimidated. No, what we saw was okay, and it's encouraging for you to, from time to time, come out to exercise our franchise.
Okay, now let's come to your recommendations. One of the challenges you just talked about was that of logistics, going around these places. You had to cough out extra money to be able to navigate the terrain, and of course the stress. It was the passion to see it succeed that brought you out. So that is one aspect of it. You want to see that logistic is provided for, but I don't know who would definitely do the provision, but that is one thing you want to see. What are the other things you probably want to see in those notes that you think INEC should take from this, so as to make an amendment going forward, just to improve on the voting processes?
Yeah, first of all, I would like to say that, as I earlier said, there's no election that people will not observe. And the essence of allowing observers to go to the field is to give credibility to the process, which is very, very key. Because whatever you are doing, these are things that get to do with the economic power, political and economic power of the people. And the process must be observed to stand, expected to serve that standard. Now, from what we have seen, we have a lot of experiences. I make mention of logistics, which is very key. So, going forward, INEC, in subsequent election, should take that as a deliberate responsibility to make sure that as many that they are organizations that they are accrediting to go out to go and observe their election, it should be kind of being, budgeted. Let observers' responsibility be part of INEC budget. Because I know a lot of complaints from our team members, they are not taken care of. And these are the people that will give credibility to your process. And that aspect of security is also key as well. Of course, we are giving the necessary material, the gadget. As you can see, I'm putting on the INEC observers jacket. It shows our identity. It's very true. But there are some places that the observers, they couldn't enter because of, they don't have that backing. And some party interests in some other areas. So we have to be careful as well as humans. So we cannot enforce ourselves as observers. We can only get to the places that we can only get. So adequate, logistics, adequate planning, should be involved so that the process can really achieve the desired desired goal.
All right, thank you so very much once again. I couldn't pronounce your other name.
Owefie Success.
Owefie Success. Thank you so very much for your time. We really appreciate you, and I'm sure you're looking forward to when the final result.
Yes. That is why we are still here. The commission, they have tried. So we are waiting for them to give the final collation, so that they can announce the results. We can all retire back to our homes in peace.
Thank you so very much. That was Success Owefie, one of the observers here, talking about the Bayelsa State Governorship election, which took place on the 11th. And of course, some part actually also held theirs yesterday, being the 12th day of November. So Bayelsa State, it's one of the richest states here, oil-rich state in the country. And of course, as I said earlier on, it is expected that this place should be very, very rich. The name Bayelsa and of course poverty should not be mentioned side by side because of the level of wealth that they sit upon. But then you still find that distribution of wealth is not very equal here, and that is one thing Bayelsans want to see change, going forward. They want to enjoy their wealth. They want to all prosper together. They want to be profitable or live a profitable life together. Well, 16 parties actually took part in these elections, 16 parties, but it has always been seen as a two-man horse race. That is between the two big men in the house, the big elephants in the room. A former governor, Timipre Silva, who's aspiring to return for a second term in office, and of course the incumbent governor, Doye Diri, who's just done one term. So for that reason, a lot of people felt there will be a lot of incidents that would take place. And of course, it was greeted with a lot of activities. And right now, there's still fanfare under the rain by Bayelsans outside, not too far from the office of INEC. We're still at the Collation Center of the Independent National Electoral Commission right here in Bayelsa State, where collation is currently taking place.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we want to read out the total votes obtained by various political parties that participated in this governorship election in Bayelsa State. Please be attentive. Party A have a total of 17 votes. Party AA, 11 votes. Party AA,
Oh, all right. Sorry. The total number of registered voters stand as 1,056,862. 1,056,862. Number of accredited voters stand at 372,000. Number of accredited voters, 372,000. Now, votes obtained by various political parties. Party AA, 17 votes. Party A, Party A, 17 votes. Party AA, 11 votes. Party ADC, 292 votes. Party ADC, 292 votes. Party ADP, 322 votes. Party ADP, 322 votes. Party APC, 110,108 votes. Party APC, 110,108 votes. Party APGA, ABGA, 70 votes. Party ABGA, 70 votes. Party APM, 26 votes. Party APM, 26 votes. Party APP, 14 votes. Party APP, 14 votes. Party BP, 26 votes. Party BP, 26 votes. LP, 905 votes. LP, 905 votes. Party NNPP, 17 votes. Party NNPP, 17 votes. Party NRM, 415 votes. Party NRM, 415 votes. Party PDP, 175,196 votes. Party PDP, 175,196 votes. Party PRP, 69 votes. Party PRP, 69 votes. Party SDP, 45 votes. Party SDP, 45 votes. Party ZLP, 21 votes. Party ZLP, 21 votes. Total valid votes cast. We have 287,554 votes. 287,554 votes. Rejected votes, 3,658. 3,658. Total vote cast, 291,212 votes. 291,212 votes. Thank you very much. The party agents can come forward to sign, please. Question after reading the results? Gentlemen, this result does not provide such account, please. We are reading from the result sheet, please, sir.
Please. We have the records of all those things you are talking about, but it cannot appear on this result sheet. Please. Thank you. Please, the party agents can come forward and sign the result sheet, please. Thank you.
Well, for APC, we are not going to sign this result because it is very clear that
Yes.
And so, if you put the total votes cancelled that APC scored in the field, which is about 84,806 votes, if you add it to what APC scored here, we clearly won the election. But it is clear that INEC had colluded, connived with the PDP to cancel our result here in this INEC office, not at the field. The votes were brought from EC 8A and EC 8B down here, and at this INEC office here, they decided to cancel over 84,000 votes scored by the APC. It is unprecedented. It has never happened anywhere. And we are totally rejecting this result.
Now that you have rejected, what's your next line of action?
Well, the Electoral Act allows INEC to review the results within 7 days. And so we have made the necessary, we have written the necessary petitions, which we have submitted, and we are believing that INEC, in good conscience, will look at our petition and deal with it justicably.
Okay, all right.
I think people deserve a balanced view. Gentlemen of the press, you have been with us throughout the collation process. The process has been very transparent, free and fair. They are following the laid down rules under the Electoral Act and the regulations and guidelines for the conduct of election. Now, it cannot be said that we have had a perfect election, but you can see that we have made a lot of remarkable progress in our electoral process. In all you can see a trend everywhere in the states. PDP won convincingly. The only few areas where APC had those scores, it was above the standard, the normal pattern under BVAS. You know that accreditation is now under BVAS, and you can see clearly that the pattern has never been used. Votes have not been high, but those areas they had 90-something scores and so on. So it means that something went wrong in those few areas. But generally, PDP won the election. They should be good sportsmen.
Please, the party that has not signed it, we are signed. First and second copy this one. The police in third copy. So first and second INET, the third copy is for you. Please let me announce this. Don't worry, we'll bring it. Wait, sir. It will be given to you. Please let me announce. Please, let's have one house. The distinguished party agents, press, we are going ahead to announce or to declare the winner of this election. Thank you very much. I, Professor Farouk Adamukuta, hereby certify that I am the returning officer for the 2023 Bayelsa State Governorship elections held on the 11th day of November 2023. The election was contested. The candidate received the following votes. Idikio Wamet Jones of Party A has 17 votes. Buffalo of Akpobi Alex of Party AA has 11 votes. Kalango Stanley Davis of ADC has 292 votes. Oguara Nangi Moyo of ADP has 322 votes. Silva Timipre Malin of APC has 110,108 votes. Subiri Bode Joseph of ABGA has 70 votes. Oshari Kenny Saturday of APM has 26 votes. Ogege Kemilaefa Messi of APP has 14 votes. Ben Victor Mabodo of BP has 26 votes. Eradi Udemo Bafa of LP has 905 votes. Azebi Bestman Ayabeke of NNPP has 17 votes. Mika Akins of NRM has 415 votes. Diri Doye of PDP has 175,196 votes. Ozato Eripadi of PRP has 69 votes. Osunuku Binaefa of SDP has 45 votes. Simeon Imotemi Kapioru of ZLP has 21 votes. Dadiri Doye of PDP, having satisfied the requirements of the law, is hereby declared the winner and is returned elected. Signed by Farouk Adamukuta, the returning officer. Thank you very much. Thank you.
into office with the highest vote scored in this election, put at 175,196 votes, and Timi Praise Silva of the APC came second with 110 votes and 110,108 votes. So right now the party agent of the APC is actually saying they can't accept the result because they feel that some of their votes were cancelled. That so far, so good. If those votes that were cancelled are added to what they had already, that would have made them win the election. But then there is a process to that, as the state returning officer has always maintained that if you have any incidents or any incident to report, you can as well just go through the process, and one of which is to formally notify the agency. So far, so good. We know that they have notified the agent already, and we would be taking reactions from across the state, especially from the State House, where our correspondent, Dobra Timuwood, is standing by. While along the line, we would also be able to take reactions from some of the party agents present here.
Did you sign? No, did you sign? Well, I'm not sending signature of your own. I promise you. It didn't show. Your signature is that's why we are waiting for you now. You don't want to listen. And I'll give the one that you didn't sign now. That was what I wanted. Don't faint already. That was what we are saying we should give you.
Just giving us an update on the situation there. Yes, indeed. The final announcement declaring Governor Doye Diri of the People's Democratic Party the winner of that election, which held on Saturday, scoring a total of 175,196 votes to beat his closest opponent of the All Progressives Congress, who had 110,108 votes. That contest in Bayelsa State was keenly contested. As you can see, the difference, the margin of victory there is just a little over 65,000 votes as differentiation between the first as the winner of the polls and the first runner-up. Now, that election also, you do remember that earlier today there was a little bit of a situation that could have turned into fracas, but thanks to the intervention of the police, that did not happen. But that's how we'll end coverage of the elections, the off-season elections in Kogi, Imo, and Bayelsa State. The three states' results have been announced. Kogi won by the APC's Ododo, and Imo won by the APC's Uzodima, and finally the Bayelsa elections won by the PDP's Diri. I'll say thank you so much for letting us be a part of your life. I'd like to return you to our regular programming on Channels Television. For more details on the results of these elections, just check out our website, channelstv.com. You get more information as regards the election, the results, and how they all polled. We'll also bring you reactions to the results that have been announced in Bayelsa State from the State House as well. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Nel Taigbe.
Our website, channelstv.com, has more information on our top stories and others. Subscribe and watch Channels Television's live stream on YouTube and other social media platforms using your mobile device browser, or download the Channels TV app for Android and iOS devices from their respective stores. You can also watch us via your smart TV platforms on Apple TV, Android TV, Fire TV, and Roku. Channels Television, ubiquitous.
Gist Nigeria cares about the things you care about.
I'm young, I'm a Muslim, I'm Hausa.
With many more perspectives.
I'm a health systems consultant,
project manager,
IT expert.
Whether visiting tech startups, education hubs,
or on the ground,
get informed opinions, trusted analysis.
Cash is an anti-cashless policy.
And most importantly, get to the gist of the news that matters most to you.
Gist Nigeria from the BBC and Channels Television every Wednesday at 9 p.m. and online too.